Here, we have asked to step into a very interesting conversation talking about the growing divide between family values and modern social constructs. It's becoming more visible in everyday life. For instance, while families still emphasize respect for elders and collective decision-making, younger generations are increasingly prioritizing personal choice in areas like career, marriage, and lifestyle. Now, parents say passing down traditional values such as discipline and communal living is becoming harder as social media and global exposure shape new perspectives. Now, while some see this shift as progress, others worry it could weaken family bonds and social stability. Now, experts are now calling for open conversations to bridge the gap and find common ground between tradition and change. But as society continues to evolve, can family values and modern social constructs truly coexist without conflict? Now, joining us for this conversation is a certified parent coach and family system strategist, Abiola Akinyelu. Welcome to TVC News Breakfast Saturday. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, very
I said
well.
earlier, I love your hair. I love how bold you are with the colors.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I think this is a very interesting conversation we need to have because, I mean, we are Africans and, of course, traditional Africans, Nigerians, right? And we have a lot of values when it comes to tradition, it comes to upbringing. And once upon a time, it was said that, I mean, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
But now with what we're seeing on social media, what we're seeing in schools, it's almost as if parents are saying, okay, you know what, I was raised a certain way, but I don't want my kids to be raised that way. What part of that divide do you stand on?
Okay, well, I stand with the family values and not on what the society is actually presenting, because really, who is the society? The society is a picture of every family. That means the family make up the society, really. So now you have your values. Now, you might want to ask, what are values really? I define them to be family-held principles that a group of people coming together, they hold, and this is what they believe, this is what they show forth. Of course, the society has their own value unintentionally, you know, and now coming back to the family, what is different from where we were coming from and where we are now is just the intentionality. Now, a lot of us, our parents had values, but those values were never written down. It was, some of those values were in sarcasm, like, oh, mom, where should I keep this cup? Oh, keep it on my head. You know, it was based on sarcasm and all of that. So they were not clearly stated. So we need to refine, even the one that we say, oh, it's from the family, we need to refine it. And we want to write it down, like in my own home, we have our own set of values that is written, it is framed, it is on the wall. Yeah.
Ooh, oh, yeah. It's on the wall.
So when you come to the house, as maybe you're just coming to spend some time with us, we run you through our values. Oh, this is what we believe, this is who we are. So it doesn't go off tangent like, oh, why are these people doing this? Why this? Why? One of our values is love for one another. One of our family values, respect, you know. So we teach the children, we let them know that this is why you do what you do. And in our own time, there was no explanation really.
So I want to ask, sorry, man. I understand yours is even written and framed up onto the wall. However, when we're growing up, as you just said, you asked the question, I answered. There was no, it wasn't written, but it was known. Yes. Do you understand? Like there was just a general, but it wasn't written. So how would you say that was like passed across the parents? They didn't have meetings, did they?
That's why, if you look at this generation where we are now, we are, let me borrow the word, the ripple effect of all of that. Because if it was clearly stated, some of the things that we are seeing in our own time now, we probably would see something better. Let me use that word. And now, like I just said, that we have our own values written down. Like by the time I was coming for this show, my kids were still sleeping. Right? I didn't just say, oh, they're sleeping, they'll figure it out. I sent a voice note. All right, okay, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm going to do. So when they wake up, they don't just, you know,
they know what's
they know
coming,
where, because that is part of our family values. You tell us where you are going to, and we tell you where we are going to, so that one day when you are 18, 19, and I call you and I'm like, hey, guy, where are you? You can tell me, because it's a value that has been instilled.
When you look at the issue of family values and compared to what we see at the moment, it's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how do you now juxtapose what we had then and now?
Well, it still takes me back to the roots. One of the things that in our own time and now is things clearly stated out. And beyond the values for us, we have our family vision, we have our family mission statement. So all of that gears towards the value, because if you have values and you don't have vision, so really identity, who are we? Who are we? What kind of family are we, right? And when we're able to answer those kind of questions, you can now say, oh, this is what we are gearing towards, so this is my value, this is how we get to who and what we can be.
I just want to paint a scenario for you. It's a family of four. Daddy is like part breadwinner. Mommy is also breadwinner. But daddy drinks and he is violent. You know, and the two boys in the family, one becomes violent, the other hates violence. How do you explain that?
Well, that's a very good question. It brings me back to the story in the Bible, Esau and Jacob. So, all right. So, but here is the thing. We intentionally, unintentionally model our lives in front of our children, because children do what we do more than what you tell them to do, what you voice. So they see your actions, all right, and they follow suit. They just say, okay, if this is what this man is painting to me, then this is ideal. That means you've intentionally told them that this is who we are.
Yes.
With your environment. It's just like you are eating in the house and daddy has 5 pieces of meat in his plate and Junior has 1 piece. That 1 piece was even cut into 2. That you are a child, you should not be eating big meat. They told us a lot of that. And by the time Junior is looking at your plate, like, okay, anyway, I know where they keep this thing in the night. When everybody has gone, I'll find my way.
So are you advocating for equal piece of meat across all family members?
No, I'm not advocating, but I'm just saying that whatever it is you want to model, you just do. And quite a lot of us right now, we almost want to eat with our plate full because that was what was modeled, you know, to us. So Junior goes to the fridge in the night and says, that's what daddy did now. So daddy had 5. Me, it's my entitlement. I'm going to have
5. But you see, my main question there is that these 2 children had the same model, a violent dad. One grew up emulating the violence that he saw in their dad, and the other one completely hates it. Yeah, how do we explain that? Because what we're trying to do is raise our children to be a reflection of our values, isn't it? So I have shown, not me as in
maybe it's starting from next year.
I have shown these values, and yet one goes directly south while the other one goes directly north.
So you need to check the influences around the child, because your environment is bigger than your value system. So even if I have my values, I have, we respect one another, we don't do this, we don't do that. But in my environment, they do a lot of all of that. You know, before you know what's happening, you will produce after that kind. The environment is bigger than your value. If you live in a place where, like, you want to rent an apartment, you didn't do environmental mapping, you know, you just say, these houses are cheap here, and you go there. What's in the environment? Maybe they're on drugs, maybe they're on this. Before you know what's happening, Junior, go and buy me biscuit and Coke, go and buy me Maggie, go and buy me this. Junior branches, assist people. Before you know what's happening, it becomes his lifestyle. And because maybe daddy is busy, daddy doesn't have his time, you know, before you know what's happening. So it takes an extra effort from a child that naturally says, I'm going somewhere in life. This is where I'm going to. Like, I was talking to the person that we came together with this morning. We've known for like 30, 25 years. And I said, who knew in the next 25 years we're going to do something together like this? But one of the things that kept us where we were, because we're teenagers, we could have explored, you know, and one of the things that kept us were the values of where we were at that time. And we determined that, hey, we're going to go far in life. So you don't want to have a blast from the past, because it can be very bad.
So I think my question, I mean, as I asked them earlier before we even came on air, you have kids, right? And so at what point did you start coaching? Is that something you've always wanted to do, or was it an experience that led you to that? And then, what was the experience if there was? I like a good school.
I always like I always like to share this, and I remember I think 4 years ago when on my parenting journey, I used to be the mom beater. My husband was the so I used to be the one that is, hey, you must everything, you know. So my daughter is she turned 8 this year, and at that time she was, I think it was 4. She did something so amazing at that time. I won't say bad, and I got so upset. And I brought out my cane. I started beating her, beating her, beating her, beating her. And my husband came out from the room and said, why are you beating her like a thief? She didn't steal anything. And I paused. Right there, my life flashed in front of me. And I was now seeing my mom that I swore that I would never become. And I said, no. Something is not right here. Because the first law in parenting is that you parent the same way you were parented unless you have external forces, external information. And you are a product of how you were raised, where you were raised, what the person that raised you know. So this was all of me staring at my 4-year-old at that time. It was really, really bad, you know. And I sat down in my bathroom that day crying, like, God, I need help, help me. And before I knew what was happening, all the help I needed, you know, came to me. And it's been a beautiful journey. I'm still becoming, because I still, when we are talking, I still tell them that, hey, guys, I'm still becoming.
Someone told me that parenting is not a child's play.
It's not. I agree with that person.
It's a serious work, and you keep working daily. So how do you balance this? The father, the mother, they're out there making money, and the children are left in the hands of homemade or house help, or what do you call it? To just take good care of them, and they come out and the result is bizarre.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that question. I like the question because it relates to me, because I was in that shoe, and I realized I was under the like, oh, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm doing all of that. And I realized that I was outsourcing my parenting unintentionally. I was, in fact, intentionally outsourcing my parenting. And this lady that has come to our house at that time was coming from another place. So all of what she learned there was what she was downloading and installing in the kids.
Absolutely.
And before, the result I was getting was not following through. And I realized that when I probably give the children instruction, they don't follow it, because if I say, okay, one of our rules, because from your values you have your rules, one of our rules is that eating is not complete until you wash your plate. My son is 5, so they both do their dishes. So if you don't wash your plate, your next meal, is either you eat in the dirty plate, or that's the consequence, because we don't beat in our house anymore. So we use consequences. So yeah, because somebody might be listening like, okay, so you know, so how do you now do it?
Exactly, yeah, because that's the question I'm going to ask.
So we use consequences. You don't wash your plate, you're not eating the next meal, or you eat it in a dirty plate. Make your choice. So, and I'm sure you don't want to do that. So I realized that when I say this is what you do, this is what you do, before I know what's happening, she's done the dishes for them. So I'm doing my work here.
And she's doing this on the opposite. Okay.
So the result, like you said, is bizarre, until I had to collect my parenting back. And at that time, I realized that before my children even called me and say, Mom, they've called her name, called the teacher's name, and probably the last name that they have.
And it's because you're also available. That's why you could realize that.
Yes. Yeah. So my husband and I, our names were the last names. And this is where the family, because by the time we sat down and looked at our blueprint, our family blueprint, and we treat our family like a business, because it is a business. And we looked at the blueprint and said, okay, where are we going to? Who are the people that we need? Who are our parent partners? Because I call them parent partners. The teachers are parent partners. Who are the parent partners that are helping us to where we're going to? Yes. So by the time the next caregiver was going to come, we have clear rules and everything. So when this person came, we went through a series of helping you understand who we are. So even when we are not, like I'm not at home now, she understands. If anybody comes into our environment and plays some certain kind of music, she will say, no, we don't do that here, because she understands what we do. So if you don't intentionally do it, the world is going to intentionally or unintentionally raise them to their own standard. And that's what the social construct is all about. Really.
So the word for good parenting is intentionality.
Yes, you have to be intentional about it.
Yes, and you have to be present for the children.
Yes, over present.
Over present.
Presence over present.
Oh, presence over. Oh, wow.
You know, quite a lot of people believe that presence is, oh, I buy you gift, I buy you that. Your identity is in luxury stuff.
Yeah, spending my
You know,
money. Okay.
So you're under my roof. So that is what they think and believe. But you know, sometimes your presence is really. Yeah, last night I got home a little bit late, and I just saw two people coming out of the room. I said, why are you guys not? You said, we are waiting for you. You didn't tell me our bedtime story. You know, you didn't sing our song for us. We are waiting for you. So it's the connection that we've built over time that helps them to understand. Like I said, I've dropped a voice note. You know, by the time I'm done here, I'm calling, hey, hello guys, hi, you know, I'm checking up. I'm intentionally there. And when they go to school and anything happens, one of the things we teach them to do is that maybe you're not feeling fine, you go to the whatever, you get into trouble, don't be afraid to come home. You know, tell them, call my mom. Can I have my mom? Can you call my dad? Can you come? Oh, I'm not saying anything until my dad gets here. I'm not saying anything until my mom gets here. Oh, I'm not feeling too well. Please, could you call my mom? Or sometimes maybe they're not feeling well. They're like, oh, I must go to school. When they get to school, I'm calling the teacher. Please, can I speak to you? Because it's part of the things that we
All the stories you've said is about mom. Realize the dad.
Oh, yes.
Time will not permit.
No, that is very involved.
It's very involved.
Very involved.
I think what I need to say
Super
is,
involved.
I like the fact that you're coming from a place where, I mean, you were the beater, right? But you're now guiding yourself intentionally to literally having values, set rules, and be more present for your kids. I think you're doing a fantastic job so far.
Thank you.
And anyone who definitely wants to learn to parent need to come. Don't worry, I'm not there yet. I will definitely.
We actually have some kind of things that we put together. Really, we run a coaching system for parents that come in, maybe even single people that want to get married, and you don't just want to make the same errors that quite a lot of people do. So we run some coaching system for them. We have an accountability system. We have quite a lot of things to engage you to ensure that we literally hold you by your hand and
take you through it. I mean, it's a fun place to live at this morning. And I mean, thank you so much for being here with us. Brilliant talking to you, certified parent coach and family system strategist Abiola Akinyelu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. All right, there's still so much more happening right here on TVC Breakfast Saturday. After the break, we'll focus on women's participation in politics. Why are women still largely absent from